Today it is written, and here it is discussed, that some Republican leaders have already given up on 2016 and hosting a so-called shadow convention right here in Cleveland. The website Politico reports establishment Republicans expect Donald Trump to lose, and lose in a big way, to Hillary Clinton, and that many of them are already plotting to rebuild the party without them. Some analysts say Donald Trump may have chosen Indiana Governor Mike Pence as his running mate to reassure those establishment Republicans. In fact, during the announcement over the weekend, Donald Trump himself said party unity is one of the reasons he chose Pence. Sean Spicer is here with us now. He's the Chief Strategist and Communications Director for the Republican National Committee. Sean, hello.
Thanks for having me.
How are you?
I'm all right.
Okay.
Day two.
Day two. So two things.
Yep.
First of all, Melania Trump says she wrote the speech. The speech contains plagiarism. What do they do?
Well, first, let's look at what's really happening here, okay? It was a 14-minute speech, 1,400 words, and there were 50 words that are in dispute of 3 common phrases, right? So that's what we're talking about. And when you look at a couple of these phrases, so let's look at what Melania Trump said. She said, you work hard for what you want in life. Akon said, you work hard for what you get in life. John Legend said, work hard to be anything you want in life.
Play the SOTs, please.
When you...
We're going to play the SOTs.
Okay.
Let's listen.
Their integrity, compassion, and intelligence reflects to this day on me.
Her integrity, her compassion, her intelligence reflected in my daughters.
That your word is your bond, and you do what you say and keep your promise.
Your word is your bond, that you do what you say you're going to do.
We need to pass those lessons on to the many generations to follow.
Pass them on to the next generation.
Because we want our children in
I mean,
these
Sean,
nations
it is what it is. I mean, is the strategy today to say John Legend said the same thing? I'm just curious.
No, what it is to say that there are several phrases that are used. Your word is your bond. Shep, you can't tell me that you haven't used that as well. To play for this was, I give the Hillary Clinton campaign credit. They found a bunch of similar clips, went out and said she said the same thing. But this is not like paraphrasing a story, which is plagiarism. That's what plagiarism is. What she said are phrases that have been said by everyone, not just, you know.
So this is a non-thing.
No, I think this is a faux controversy that is being made up to undermine what was an amazing speech.
Who made it up?
I think the Clinton campaign is largely responsible for pushing this out.
Well, that's not what I've seen. I mean, what I've seen is if you run this through a plagiarism software.
No, but look at, if you
back,
actually, right, if you look at the speech side by side next to each other and see where there's 3 little phrases in areas where there's any overlap. Aside from that, it is all her. So I think that this is a bunch of people trying to make something out of nothing.
Okay.
I mean, look, let me just give you one more. This is what Melania Trump said. The strength of your dreams and your willingness to work from. That's what she said. Twilight Sparkle, who's one of the My Little Ponies, said this is your dream, anything you can do for your dreams. So if your goal is to find where there's parity between someone else said, I can get as silly as you want. I mean, you put the phrase through Google and it's going to spit a ton of stuff out. So when you use common phrases, which she did in 3 small areas of her speech that everyone uses, then you can find controversy. If you actually look at what happened last night, she gave an amazing speech. She spoke passionately and eloquently about the man that she knows and loves is going to be our next president.
Okay. Politico writes today that there is, look at this, there is a shadow convention going on, and it quotes President Bush the 43rd as saying, and I quote, as it goes to the screen, I'm going to read it off the screen, the quote. I'm worried, Bush told this gathered group, that I will be the last Republican president.
Well, he doesn't need to worry, because we're going to elect another Republican president, vice president this November. Donald Trump and Mike Pence are going to win. This country can't afford Hillary Clinton, not just for the next 4 years, but for a generation, because that's what would happen. If she gets elected, 2 to 4 Supreme Court justices are at stake. That's the trajectory of this country for a generation, and we cannot afford it. Another
quote from Politico today, and so to an almost unprecedented extent, as 50,000 Republican activists, officials, and media pour into Cleveland this week, there is something of a convention within the convention. Many of these GOP titans, the intellectual and financial pillars of the party and its possible future elected leaders, are plotting a parallel course. They talk of the Koch brothers. It's a lengthy article. I'm sure you've read it. Is
Look,
this
if
not
people,
happening?
Look, if people want to go out and find controversy and dissent, they can find it. It's a big country. We have 300 million people. But if you look at the amount of excitement, intensity, and enthusiasm that was in this building and around the world when people were watching that speech last night and what they're going to see over the next three nights, it's going to electrify people.
Is there a shadow convention underway?
Not that I'm aware of. It must be a small little shadow because I haven't seen it. So, I mean, look, we started here last August on the debate stage on this floor, 17 amazing candidates. We've whittled it down to one. In the process, we shattered debate ratings. We shattered turnout. More people than ever before turned out, and Donald Trump got more votes than any Republican candidate ever before. The people have spoken. The party's united. We're going to win in November.
Is it so? It seems like what we're doing is just not acknowledging.
Well,
like,
I mean,
we
I
don't
think
acknowledge the speech. We don't acknowledge that this shadow campaign is going on. It's not that everyone in the world isn't talking about it. They are. The Koch brothers, the big money, Paul Ryan sitting on the side with his comment
Paul Ryan's
the other
speaking
day.
tonight.
I know, but I mean, you heard his comment the same way I did. You know, you don't want people to not do what their conscience tells them is right.
Look,
I'm just
and you also
asking.
saw Paul Ryan put out a statement praising the selection of Mike Pence, a man who served in Congress, who served as governor of Indiana to tremendous success, one of the best bond-rated states in the country, amazing job creation, great relationships in Washington. So, I mean, I guess
How do you feel like the 60 Minutes interview went?
I think they did great. I think they've got amazing chemistry. They complement each other much. I mean, the problem is everybody wants to look for the differences. But what makes this a great ticket is they complement each other. If you're looking for parity and 100%, then, you know, we can clone somebody. But the reality is that this is a great ticket. They bring a lot to it, and they're going to get things done. The problem is right now a lot of people who want the same old, this isn't what they're going to get. He's a non-traditional candidate. He's a successful businessman. He's a successful man in the entertainment industry, and he's a successful family man. So when it comes to, you know, if you're asking me, is this going to be traditional? No. Is he going to be like every other status quo politician that's come along? No. But you know what? We haven't won the last two elections either. So I think that maybe it's time that this is what we need.
What are you expecting tonight?
Well, I think you're going to hear a lot of great speeches. You've got Chris Christie, Ben Carson. You've got Tiffany Trump and Donald Trump Jr. You've got Paul Ryan, Mitch McConnell. It's a great mix of individuals. But what we're going to do is learn more about Donald Trump, the man behind what you see. I think Tiffany and Don are going to talk about the man that they love, the father that he is, getting you know a little bit more about.
Everybody I talk to about Donald Trump who's known him for a while says the same thing.
Look at the people that work for him.
They say, this isn't the Donald Trump we know, this bombastic person with all these lines.
And part of the job of this convention is for people to know more about the man that they see on TV, to know how gracious he is, to know the kind of man that has people that work for him for 20 and 30 years because of how caring he is towards his employees, towards his family, towards his friends, towards his colleagues.
Have you been in contact with him?
Absolutely.
How is he today?
Oh, no, I haven't talked to him today, no.
When did you speak with him last?
When he selected Mike Pence.
And how did that seem? Because, you know, we were all told that the night before he was having trepidation about it. And there were
when they did that 60
discussions.
Minutes interview, he was so excited about the tremendous response that was getting from Mike Pence. He was excited about the enthusiasm that Mike Pence had.
So the pushback didn't happen. The whole "can I change my mind now" meetings that we read about.
No, in fact, you saw Paul Manafort out there saying that never happened. I think what you see is a lot of background sources with no names attached to them. Donald Trump said that didn't happen. Paul Manafort said that didn't happen. At some point, you've got to wonder about the quality of some of the reporting that's coming out.
Okay. Donald Trump will speak. What's his theme on Thursday?
I think it's going to be Make America Great. That's what he's got, the theme of this convention. He's going to talk about the different direction that he's going to take, the policies that he's going to pursue, and the contrast that is going to get drawn between Hillary Clinton and him. I mean, look, if you want the same old, you want another 4 years of Barack Obama, the same kind of status quo excuses, I think people have had enough of the Clintons. They've had enough wage stagnation. They've had enough excuses. They've had enough corruption. If people are ready for a new direction in this country, ready to make America great, then Donald Trump's going to talk about that and give you an alternative.
We'll be listening.
I hope you will.
Sean, it's nice to see you.
Thanks, Shep.
Good luck. Enjoy.